All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Sunshine Day. This is going to be sort of my last week of doing Instagram classes for a while. I'm taking a little break in January, and we'll see what things look like in February. Anymore, it's not worth worrying about anything further than one day ahead of where you're at, in my opinion. So I'm happy to be here with you guys, and I'm going to try to teach this noon class a couple extra times this week if I can, just to sort of load us up on some yoga before the holidays, and it'll help me load up some content onto my YouTube channel as well. All of these classes go there after we do them live, so if you ever miss one, you can just take it later on in the day and find it on YouTube or find it on the IGTV part of our homepage on our profile. So that's the good news, is that tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and hopefully Friday, I should be able to teach this class over the noon hour a couple extra times for you this week. Yay! Aside from that, always a nice sort of intro to your week, in my opinion, is to do something that's a little bit freeing for the body, or detoxifying, or has some sort of element to it that helps us kind of let go of the old and make space for the new. And since today is such a cool day, we have this eclipse happening, we're getting closer here to the solstice throughout the week, just a lot of good energy work to be done. And when we think about one place in the body that we are always holding and storing energy, whether it feels good or sometimes maybe not so great, is the hips, right? I think we can all relate to the fact that that is one spot, no matter how open and naturally flexible you may be, hips are one part of the body that just take constant work. And so we're going to work on them some more, because the hip work is never done in the world of a yogi. So a little flow sequence to get us kind of moving around, but we'll take things slow in these first few moments and set up the postures one by one so that we can feel them out, and then we'll connect them together and make a fun little flow. So get whatever you need to be comfortable. We're going to start on our backs. I'm going to just make one little adjustment here. There we go. All right. So come on down, and I'm turning sideways just for your benefit, but you guys can just lie straight back down on your mat. All right, welcome, welcome. Welcome yourself onto your mat, into the present, into these few sacred moments of your day where you don't have to be anywhere else. You don't have to do anything other than simply work on being present and connecting to your breath. So let's start there. You can do anything on your back here, by the way, that feels good. I'm going to squeeze my knees in. That feels good to me. But if you want to start with your legs out long, or maybe just both feet flat on the mat, that's fine too. And then redirect all of your attention and focus to the sound and feel of your breathing. Chest and belly rise and fall. And take a moment to relax the muscles of your face. Places where we hold tension without even thinking about it, around the creases of the eyes, the corners of the mouth, the cheekbones, the jaw. Unclench your teeth if you need to. Let your shoulder blades get a little heavier and feel like they're just melting right off your back. Same thing with your spine, all the way down the tailbone and the Glutes relax. Take a moment to simply acknowledge this connection to the earth. There is solid ground underneath of you. You are safe and sound right here between the four corners of your mat. So it's okay. Let your guard down a little bit. Focus on making your next inhale even deeper and fuller. And the same with your exhale. Work to get every last drop of breath out. Now, whether or not you want to breathe through your nose is really up to you. Do what feels good. If you're more comfortable exhaling out your mouth, that's okay, but at least try to keep your inhale going through the nose. And then come join me and take your feet off the mat when you're ready. Let yourself just rock a little bit here, side to side. Once those knees are up and in, you start rolling back and forth. Just rocking any tension out of the lumbar spine. If you want to bring your head up, you can. Otherwise, just feel free to keep the upper body relaxed a little longer. And we'll slow it down and set both feet back down on the ground. Gentle little bridge pose here. Take the hips up, stretch long through the front side of the body. Try to relax through the glutes. From your kneecaps to your collarbones, open up just a little bit more and then slowly release. Knees come back in and then take them wide. So not together, but outside of your ribs and squeeze there. Good. Set the feet back down. Inhale, sit to Bandasana, bridge pose. Just doing a little warm-up work here. Slowly on the exhale as you release, take it down, grab those knees, give them a squeeze. And again, set the feet down, inhale, press up. Exhale, slowly lower. Big squeeze in. 2 more, feet down, Setu Bandasana, inhale. Exhale, lower down, Apanasana, wind relief. Once more, press the feet down, inhale, take the hips up, maybe a little bit higher on this last one. If you want to try to support your hips and give them a push, get your hands underneath, and then release. Knees come back up, wide again, like you're trying to pull your kneecaps up into your armpits. All right, and then release. As the legs swing together, roll yourself over to one side, curl up there for a moment, take a deep breath or two. And then softly, comfortably press yourself up. We'll come around and find a seat. Starting in just a simple cross-legged position, and we'll put the right foot in front of the left just to keep everybody on the same page here so that we don't get confused. So I've got my right ankle in front of my left. I'm going to walk the hands out. Exhale, fold. Try to take some tension out of the back of your neck. And again, relax the cheekbones. Relax the jaw. Relax the shoulders. Relax the spine. You can feel that stretch now moving around to the outside of the hips, or what are known as your rotators. So we're way back in the glutes. wrapping around the outer hips. Inhale, bring your chest up. Take a little walk of your hands to the right. Exhale, fold over the right knee. You can even bring your forehead in toward your right kneecap. Hold that stretch for 3, 2, and 1. Listen close. Next inhale, just lift your left arm up. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit so that you're in a side body stretch still here, but you're reaching up and over. Look underneath the arm. 2, 1. Inhale slowly. Now we're going to tick-tock up and over and land on the left hand. Right arm reaches up. Deep breath in. Here we go. Opening all the way through the ribs. 2, 1. Turn the chest down. Both hands to the ground. Fold over the left side. So now we're bringing that stretch further up into the low back, lumbar spine, QLs, lats, and 1. Walk it back to the middle. 1 final exhale right there. And then on the next breath in, lift your chest up. As you exhale, rock your weight forward. So see, I'm just going to come up onto my knees and I'm going to slide my left leg back. As the hands come in, you can make a little adjustment to swing your right foot and knee into position for pigeon. Ekapada, Raja Kapotasana. You've got a nice line here from your knee to your ankle, about 45 degrees. Really bendy people, you might be more parallel 90 degrees with that front edge of your mat. Either way, turn this left frontal hip bone down toward the mat and then take it down into your first real big hip stretch here. This is pigeon. And we'll give this one about double the amount. It's about 10 breaths here. And head can relax. Feel free to swing through the neck. Work any tension out. Up those sides of the neck to the jaw. Whew. Good. And if there's anything else you like to do in your pigeon, you're welcome to always lift up a little bit and stretch here. Maybe take the left arm through if you wanted to thread. You can come all the way to your fingertips and just stay upright. Oftentimes we miss how great this part of the stretch is because we're so eager to get down into that forward folding, but there's a whole nother world of sensation to feel just by keeping your chest up in this posture. It's about 3 more breaths to kind of feel it out. That's really what any good yoga practice is, right? It's just observation, paying attention to how your body responds to these little movements, how your body responds to the changes in your breath, and noticing when your attention starts to fade off or your mind starts to wander, and just coming back to your body. There's so much going on. There's so much to pay attention to. That's your only job. On your next inhale, bring yourself up to your hands if you're not there already. Plant your palms firmly. Tuck those left toes behind you. Right leg is going to go all the way up into 3-legged down dog, and we're just going to shake it out. Good. Yeah. Kick that foot out a few times. Circle the hips, the ankle, the knee. Do what you need to do. Keep breathing. And then one good solid kick up behind you, and on the exhalation, we'll pull the right foot through, and let's start down here in a deeper low lunge. So you're just going to lean into your front thigh. The more you lean forward, again, the more you're going to feel left hip flexors, right along the inner crease of the hip. That's what I'm talking about. Flexor as in flexion, right? Flexion is forward and backward movement. And so those are the muscles that help you walk, essentially, forward and backward. And then rotators help us with rotation, right? This sort of lateral rotating that we can do with the hip. We'll do some of that in this flow, but for now, let's stick with this flexion idea. Retuck your back toes if they've come untucked and lift your left knee. Press back. Take a hamstring stretch. Hips up high, both legs straight. Maybe the right toes flex. Back up off the mat and towards your nose. Can't work your hips without working your hamstrings and your low back. All three of them go together. 2 and 1. Exhale, sink back into the lunge. Now just one breath, lift up. Exhale, press back. Let's do that one more time. In nice and low, Anjaneyasana variation. Parsvottanasana, hips up high, flex the toes. And walk it from here. See how this foot is flexed? I'm just going to pivot on that heel. Make it real easy and turn it to the side for a deep fold. Once I'm comfortable in this upside down position, I can start to rock the weight side to side, letting the knees get deeper with each kind of movement here, each round. I'm going further until I feel like I can maybe drop the hips all the way down. Straight leg in that position, turn those toes up toward the ceiling. So there, right? Toes up. If you keep your foot forward, that's really hard on your knee right here. So toes up. Sink to the right and hold it for 3. Drop your hips, your heart, center your head as low to the ground as you can. Right up in those groins now. Super high hip flexors. 2 and 1. Switch. Keep it low and breathe. 2 and 1. Back up to the middle. Exhale, fold. Get all of your breath out. Hands to your hips. Soften your knees. Inhale slowly. Roll and rise. All right, this is the first time we've been standing up all practice here. So big exhale to let your body settle into that feeling. Head is up over the heart finally. And turn the front toes out and meet me in a warrior 2. So nice big warrior stance. Feet might slide a little bit further apart. First time here, we're going to take the 3 positions of what's called a dancing warrior sequence. It's just 3 poses put together, and we're just going to do them once. Next time we flow, we will dance this around a little bit. But for now, starting with position 1 is warrior 2. We're already in it. Make sure you feel it from the inner arches of your feet all the way to the inner creases of your hips. Strong legs. Good. Flip the front palm. Second position of the dancing warrior sequence is the reverse or illuminated warrior. And this is a side body stretch. I always like to remind people it's okay to look down at your back foot rather than up at your top hand. You might actually find that feels a little bit better in your neck and shoulders. 2 and 1. Third position of the sequence is the side angle pose. Now you can just stop right there with the elbow on the knee, reach the left hand over, and that's plenty. Or if you're going to go a little further, right fingertips down, drop deeper into your hips, keep the left side of the body as long and strong as possible, and breathe here. 3, 2, on 1, take a look down. That's going to be it for on this first round. We'll bring the left hand to the ground. Don't drag your right foot. Use your core to pick it up. High plank. All right, 28 minutes in, you get your first vinyasa finally. Lift your heart up. Exhale, press your hips back. Deep breath out. It's probably more like 20 minutes. I think my clock's a little fast. If that felt good to you and you want to do another one, you can go again, inhale back out. If it didn't feel great or you're satisfied, just hold in your down dog another breath. Up dog through once more, and back to down dog again. If you're going to do something twice, you might as well do it 3 times if you want. Once more, You know you have the option to skip it or modify it anytime you'd like. Gaze forward, step, hop, or jump through and sit yourself back down. Right foot in first, left foot is out front, right? So left foot is the lead leg this time. Slow it back down. Whole thing starts over again. We'll just breathe right here. Relax your head, relax your neck, relax your shoulders, forehead. Inhale. Hands take a little walk over to the left. And fold there. You feel that stretch get deeper in the right side of your low back. If that's not true, walk your hands further around until you can feel something going on there. Nice job. Next inhale, stay in the side stretch, but just lift your right arm up. You can look up or just forward or down, depending on how the neck feels. And inhale all the way up and over, land on the right hand. Left arm stays up and over in the stretch. Sits bones are connected to the mat the whole time. So if that's not true, if you've got one butt cheek off the ground, rock back. Get yourself rooted in the pose. Chest comes down. Hold right there, leaning over the right thigh or knee for 3, 2, 1, and then walk those hands back around to center and fold it out one more time right there. And inhale. Lift your chest a little bit, hands slide in. On the exhale, rock forward. Lift your booty and slide your right leg back. Make a little adjustment with your left shin to find the proper pigeon pose for your body. And then down onto the elbows. Now, I didn't give you the modification of doing pigeon on your back because this is a flow. There's no good way to kind of flip this onto your back, I guess. So if you didn't want to go into pigeon at this point, the modification really would be just to stay in that seated forward fold stretch a little longer. I didn't give you that on the first side, but if this is a practice you like and you end up doing it again and this part is just not working for you, skip the pigeon. Stay in the seated cross-legged fold, and then you'll just come back and meet us in down dog here in a moment or two. We took this one for 10 full breaths, so let's do about 5 more. And you can sneak in any of those variations that you did on the first side. Bringing the chest up, threading the needle, whatever seems like the right thing for you. I know I say that a lot, but it is your practice. I have absolutely no idea what it feels like in your body. Only you know that, so listen to your body. When the time is right, you've brought yourself back up. Hands can plant firmly on the mat or into the ground. Tuck your back toes. Take your left leg up with you as you come back into three-legged dog. Ripada Adhumka Shavasana. Little hip opening stretch. Bend and release the knee, twirl the ankle. You've got options. And on your next deep exhale, swing that left leg through. Here's that low lunge position we started in. I'm going to come all the way down onto my right knee for a few breaths. Leaning into the left thigh. If you're really in this pose good and deep, you should feel kind of a dull, achy sensation right along the crease of your left hip. That means that you're actually compressing, you're actually shutting down some blood flow there. And that's what we're hoping to do. And then retuck your back toes, send the hips up high, flex the front toes towards your nose, and dive your forehead towards your shin. Breathe 3, 2, and 1. Back into the front. Maybe just tapping that back knee as you lift your collarbones up. Exhale, press back and flex again. Do that for me one more time. Drop in. Press up and back. Stay on your front heel and swivel around to the side. Prasarita, get your feet set where you want them. If you feel like your stance needs to be wider or shorter, make those adjustments here. And then again, just start moving it side to side. This first part, the feet are flat. We're doing our best to keep all the toes on the ground, the heels, the inner arches of the feet, the outer arches of the feet. Then as you start dropping deeper, there it is. Now those toes turn up toward the sky on your straight leg. Good. On the squatting side, your heel may or may not touch the ground. It really just has more to do with the anatomy of your ankle than anything else. So, don't worry too much about that. And next time you come to the left, way down into that left side, hold and breathe. Take the hands, walk them out in front of you, really sit back into your hips. A little Cossack squat, lateral squat position here. There's a cool bind if you want to make it. It goes around this knee and these hands come together, and then at that point you work on lifting your gaze and sitting up a little more. It's really up to you. Switch it around to the other side, drop in and breathe. Try that bind here again. Right arm wraps around, left hand comes back. Maybe they come together. If so, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Thigh a little closer to the right armpit there. And then let it go, hips up high. Meet me back in your forward fold. Full breath out. Soften up the knees. Even if you're open in your hamstrings, just take good care of your body. Little baby bend in the knees, hands to the hips, inhale, rise. When you make it to the top, then you can re-engage. Pull everything in, low belly muscles, fire up your quads, open up your heart, take a soft back bend. And we'll pivot the front toes to position warrior 3, or pardon me, warrior 2. For 3 different positions is what I was trying to say. So we start with this warrior 2 as the base. Nothing below the navel is really going to change. And so sink deeper into your hips. Don't change that, just add the stretch up and back. Gaze can be up, out, or down at your back foot. That's 3. Keep tucking, navel to the spine, pulling in. Use your bandhas. 2, 1. Take it down, reach long through the right side. Modification, elbow up on the thigh, no problem. Either way, you're still using the strength of your obliques and your intercostal muscles, side body muscles helping you out. 2, 1. Take a look to the ground. Spin it down, both hands plant. Don't drag your left foot, right? So we don't want to. Instead, try not to make a sound. Pick it up. Take it back. High plank, inhale. Lower down if you'd like. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. You can do 2 more, you can do 1 more, you can do no more. And just hold your down dog or drop into child's pose if you need a little bit more of a break. We'll finish up. Last vinyasa for those of you moving through. And then everybody can come into Balasana, find that little child's pose shape, and just take 3 deep breaths. Reset your focus, your intention, what brought you to your mat today, why are you still here? Recommit to it. Recommit to your breath. All right, and then we're gonna flow this baby 1 time. So join when you're ready. Inhale, come on up to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, exhale completely here. Gaze forward. I'm gonna step right foot, left foot, or I'm gonna hop through into a seat. Right foot is in the front when you sit down. Hands come out in front, big breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift a little. Walk to the right with the hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, just the left arm up into that side body stretch. On the exhale, switch. Land on the left. Inhale, right arm up and over. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, back to the middle. And exhale, fold. Lift up. On the next breath in, you bring the hips with, slide the left leg back, and sink into pigeon on that first exhalation. Give it one inhale on your fingertips to really lengthen through the front. One big exhale to fold all the way down. Let your forehead tap the ground. Pressing into your palms. Tuck your left toes, and on the breath in, you push up and right back to three-legged dog. One smooth movement all the way through. Step into your lunge on your next exhale. Drop the hips a little bit. Stay on the fingertips. Inhale. Press back. Exhale. Flex the front toes. Two more. Inhale. Now if you want to just sweep your arms up, a little bigger lunge going on, that's up to you. Hands down. Press back. One more time, please. Find your deepest lunge version. Take the hands down, hips up, front toes flex as you dive over that shin, and then just rotate. You're already on your right heel, so just spin it around. One deep breath out in the middle. Inhale, lift halfway. One deep squat to the right. Maybe you don't need your hands now. You're feeling a little more comfortable. And so don't use them as you move to the left with the strength of those inner hip flexors in your core. Back to center, fold. The bottom of your exhale, hands find your hips. Easy on those knees as you rise to the top. Inhale brings you up. Exhale takes you to warrior two pose. Reverse it once. Side angle stretch. Now we'll dance this back and forth 3 times. Inhale, all the way up and back. Exhale, all the way down. Notice how you're using your hips here. Take it up and back once more. Reverse. Exhale, send it down and move through. High to low. Once, twice, 3 times, up to you. You guys work through that. I think I started a little fire in my plant back here with my incense, so I'm gonna put that out really quick. Whoopsie daisy. Good. And then from your downward facing dog, take a look forward. Step, hop, or jump through. Left foot in front as you come through to a seat. And we're back. Okay, we're good. Walk it out. I think you can probably see that smoke through the screen. Holy buckets, I didn't realize that was, had some dry soil in that plant. Whoa. Another thing to get done today, water plants. Inhale, lift up, walk it to the left and exhale again. Right arm reaches up on the breath in. Turn your gaze up, look underneath that right armpit. Good. Exhale, over the top and land. Stay for the breath in as you look under the left arm. Turn the chest down. Back to the middle, breathe in, hands out front, and fold. Inhale, chest comes up, slide the hands in. On your exhale, lift your hips, right leg goes back. Take another breath at the top to really open up. There it is. Exhale, we push all the way down to the bottom. Flat palms into the mat so that when you come up on your next inhale, sorry, got my mat stuck underneath of me, you take it right into three-legged dog. Left leg high, step through, there's the lunge. In there nice and deep, tap that right knee down. Up and back, inhale. Exhale, back in, and again, you've got options to go deeper or add any kind of arm variation, flowing through the movements along with the breath. Back and fold. Sink in one more time. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hips high, pyramid pose stretch. Left toes flex up off the ground if you can. Pivot on that heel, take it to this side. One half lift and a deep fold. If you want to grab your ankles, give them a squeeze, or reach your hands back through your legs, pull yourself a little forward. And deeper into that fold. Nice job. Lift up and shift to the left, one breath. Hands can come to your heart right there if you're comfortable and steady. Use your obliques, use your low belly, transverse abdominis, lower abs. Switch to the other side. Through the middle, hands down, hips up, fold. Good. Hands to your waist and inhale, rise. Squeeze all the way up to the top. Turn it out, warrior two. Flip the front palm reverse. We go back and forth a few times here. Side angle, exhale, sweep. Keep that movement controlled from the center of your body. Yeah. So imagine that everything below your hip bones or your belly button is in concrete. It's not going anywhere. Good. Up and back one more time. Send this one all the way down and through. One vinyasa, two vinyasas, three vinyasas, up to you. And then same thing. We'll finish in child's pose and relax. Okay. When you're ready, you can just come up, kind of swing yourself to a seat if you want, or you can take your hips up high into down dog. We're going to go into Upavishta Konasana, which is a straddle stretch. So if you want to jump into it from down dog, you can. It's fun. Take your feet out and then run your hands down your shins. Maybe you just want to rest your elbows below your kneecaps and keep your forearms on your shin bones. Or if you can grab your feet, you can hold there. Or you can drop in a little further, take your hands out front, relax down. Everybody's got different mobility in here, so don't worry too much about it. Most of the time, unless you are, basically a professional flexible person, like you get paid to stretch all day long for some reason, this isn't, a natural position for most of us. And oftentimes, if you have some flexibility here, so I'll give you an example. I'm super hyper flexible in my flexors. I can go pretty deep into things like this. But I struggle out here. I struggle with these types of movements, right? So I don't have a very deep forward fold when it comes to Baddha Konasana. And don't move there just yet. We're going to get there eventually. And so that's a challenge in my practice is trying to find some balance between those two and not always overindulging in this posture just because I can, but remembering to keep the engagement, to lift up, really use Mula Bandha here, those root lock muscles, keeping you safe, right? When we let the bandhas go, we let in room for injury. Like it or not, It's just a lack of mindfulness, and that's how injuries usually happen when it comes to yoga. Some things are unavoidable, right? But when we're practicing, as long as we're focusing on the breath and we're focusing on the bandhas, you really take the risk of hurting yourself almost completely out of the equation. Inhale, come on up. That's why you hear yoga teachers say these things over and over and over and over again, right? Because we all need the constant reminder. Bottoms of the feet come together. I'll remind you again. Pull up, Mula Bandha, root lock. Lift a little bit. Do that little Kegel muscle lifting. Good. Behind the belly button, pull in slightly. Then find a deep breath to work with. And keep all those muscles engaged as you come into the fold. And when you get really comfortable in the stretch, even then, we're still not going to let those bandhas go. We're going to let everything else around the bandhas relax. So one of my favorite yoga teachers of all time, David Swenson, he's an Ashtanga guy mostly, so if you're not an Ashtanga, you might not know him, but look him up. He's just really, in my opinion, I think he's a really real guy. He's really funny. He doesn't take himself so super seriously like a lot of Ashtanga teachers do. And I say that as an Ashtanga teacher, but he's just got a really positive, straightforward, realistic outlook on how to practice yoga and how to do it in a way that really works for a lifetime, right? Because that's the goal. Practice today in a way that allows you to practice tomorrow. And so he has this philosophy of constantly saying, when you take class with him, he'll remind you over and over again, engage where it's necessary. Relax wherever it's possible, right? So we're only holding on where it's absolutely necessary that we do so, and that's usually the bandhas. Everything else can relax. Let that notion sink in for a moment. So often as a yoga teacher, when I observe my students in real life, when I am as lucky as I could be to have real life students, and hopefully that day is not gone forever, but I often see this tendency to want to deeper, 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 deep. Everybody wants to go deeper. Forcing that idea onto your body is another good way to make sure that you certainly will eventually get injured. So don't force it. Instead, relax into it. Relax into it. Relax into it. Find another place to let go. That's the way to get the body deeper into a stretch, right? Not force it, but invite it. All right, come on up. And that's not a judgment. We all do that, right? We all constantly, especially when, the yoga teacher is counting breaths for us, it's our natural tendency to want to try to go as deep as we can on that last breath. But just remember, there's a different way to do that. Knees come together, roll it down onto your back. We're just going to pretty much wrap this baby up here with a little happy baby and a spinal twist and call it a day. So a lot of you have probably noticed that I very rarely in a vinyasa class do I teach finishing sequence poses. So things like plow, shoulder stand. Go ahead, meet me in that happy baby when you're ready. Kick the feet up, grab them from the inside or the outside and rock it out. And you're always welcome to do those postures. If you like shoulder stand, if you like plow pose, and you know those poses feel good to you, then do them here at the end. I just rarely teach them in this format because I cannot see you and I cannot help you. And there is a lot of pressure on your cervical spine. There's a lot of pressure on your neck in those poses. And so for me, I don't teach them on a virtual format because I cannot give you a good, verbal adjustment or physical adjustment for that matter. And so I just leave them out. Plus, I don't really like those poses. But I know a lot of people do. So if you like to do them by all means. You can add them on to any of these practices anytime you'd like. I'm going to keep it simple with a happy baby. Bring the knees back in. Give them a quick little twist to the right side. See if I can get my spine to just unravel for me a little bit more. A few big exhales. Through center to the left. Come on back to the middle when the time feels right. Reset that spine one last time, and then just relax. Find your favorite shape for Shavasana. Since I did all that nice work opening my hips, I'm going to put the bottoms of the feet together and rest right here for my Shavasana. Maybe one hand on the solar plexus, just below your heart, at the top of your belly. One hand on your heart center, or just up closer to your breastbone somewhere. But you can relax wherever your body wants to go, and let your breathing come back to its own natural rhythm. When you are comfortable, please stay there as long as you would like. Don't move a muscle. Let your body continue relaxing and taking the benefits of your practice. There's no need to rush out of that. If you don't have to, please stay. I just want to thank you now for hopping on. Like I said, look for some extra classes this week. No 100% guarantees, but I'll try to teach this new class a few more times. If not, Monday through Friday is my goal this week, so I'll see you a little bit more often on here. And thank you to all of you who are making donations. It is really what's keeping the studio going at this point, so I thank you for that if you're able to do so. If you're not, that's okay too, but maybe take a little time to, give the studio a shout out on social media, or give us a nice Google review, or some other way that you can donate is always appreciated. Have a wonderful Monday. Take good care of yourselves. Take good care of each other. I'll see you soon. Namaste.